Hey, we got a little shop update here. Tuesday night, 9:20. I've got to get out of here in a couple of minutes. Kennan's car's still here. That is not optimal. I did everything possible to deliver that car no later than today. He's on his way to Boston, and it just couldn't happen. So we got the AC compressor in there and noted once it was warm, we've got this really weird noise that goes away when you turn the AC off and comes back when you turn the AC on. So I'm thinking, great, the compressor we got was defective. So I've ordered another one, it's over here, and it didn't go in today because Kennan said that issue was pre-existing, and that's why we replaced the compressor in the first place. Most of these cars, E38s, E39s, they all have these AC compressors that kind of were at idle. It's just worn out bearings. They work fine, they just make a little bit of noise. Both of my cars do it, and if you blip the throttle, it goes away for a few weeks, so I kind of ignore it. This issue is not that. So we removed the belt, inspected the belt, removed the tensioner and pulley, inspected those, replaced the tensioner, and that's not making a difference for us either. Removed the serpentine belt, ran the engine without the serpentine belt. The problem still exists. So it's something in this belt drive and we can't figure it out. Then he started it up to have Martin take a look at it, and it's gone and we can't get it to come back. So we're gonna have to drive it a bit tomorrow, get it warm, seems to be most notable when at full operating temperature, and see what happens. Otherwise, everything else is done. It's been aligned, rear suspension's good. The alignment's not flawless, but he's gonna have a race car alignment done that will be flawless at a Porsche shop that, as of today, conveniently is back in business, so we're thrilled to hear that. This 540, massive scale restoration on this car that has kicked off this week. MID and Cluster are out getting their pixels repaired. The headliner's out of this car. I mean, it's still in there, but all the pillars are out. We're gonna be able to just pick it out when we take it down to the upholstery shop. It's getting rewrapped, complete suspension, wheels, tires, brakes. It's pretty much an exercise of every service we offer on the E39. We're doing paint and body, interior restoration. We're not replacing the windshield. I know that's not happening, and we're not repainting the entire car, just pieces that need it. Speaking of headliners, this went down today, dropped off all the standard black MTech cloth. It's going to Alcantara, which is exciting, and he has a Dynon muffler on the way, and the sunroof is gonna get fixed. It needs both repair kits for the little hinge things. This guy, this is the Super Sprint header car that wouldn't pass smog. It had O2 sensor issues. It had Vanos issues out of nowhere. We fixed all that, got it running well, drove it last night, did the federal test drive procedure last night and on the way up this morning. Readiness monitors were active, went, smogged it, passed. He's got a smog certificate, told him he's ready for pickup. We've got to do a PDI, quite a bit of cleanup on this car. It's gotten very dusty in here, but he'll be out soon. The Sepang E60 M5 is no longer on that lift. It's pushed out back, it's covered up, awaiting customer decision on how to proceed with an engine that no longer has a viable crankshaft. S85 rod bearings must be replaced by 80,000 miles approximately. Absolute latest. He went over 100. We're deep copper, scored crank journal on cylinder 7. We wet sanded it, we polished it, we made it look almost flawless. We measure the clearance and we're out of spec. The clearance is too large, indicating that we've removed too much material because too much material was damaged by the spun bearing on cylinder 7. So we could explore the possibility of oversized bearings, but we ran into another problem. The rod cap on cylinder 7 is now like this. So you put the rod bearing in there and it seesaws back and forth. It doesn't snap into the rod. So to replace the rod, the piston has to come out. That's cylinder head removal. And with an engine with a bad crankshaft, that's an engine rebuild. So we're waiting to see how he wants to proceed. In that car's place is this lovely 01 M5. You can tell by the PDC sensors. Came in a couple weeks ago for an MPI. Customer approved the work. Parts are finally here. So I've turned Martin loose on this, kind of a driveline and suspension and a mechanically focused restoration. This car got its paint sampled today. It's getting a new front bumper, then PPF on the bumper and the headlights. Wheels are out being refinished, and there's one more thing on this car. I don't exactly remember what, but it's under control. There's a ton of stuff out back that I'm not going to get into. We have a whole stack of wheels and tires over here. There's too much stuff in the shop. There's too many cars here. So we're working tirelessly around the clock to get this stuff done and get these cars out of here. But it's time for me to go home, get some dinner, get some rest, get back in here early tomorrow, see what we can get done. Night.